All right, Angela Giles here. Welcome back to another episode of the Savage Angel podcast. And I've got the funnest guest on today, Tim Ketchum. And I'm excited to share a little bit about him. But instead of me reading a long, boring bio, I'm going to actually let Tim tell us about himself and what he does, which is very interesting. So, Tim, welcome. Happy to
Hey,
have you.
it's really good to be here. So, as you said, my name's Tim Ketchum, and I'm a co-founder of a company called Composer. And what Composer does is we make garbage disposals. It's a startup, and I don't think anyone's ever launched a garbage disposal startup before, so that's kind of fun.
That's exactly it. So I would love to hear the story behind this startup, Tim. Like, where did all of this start? Was it something in your mind, your business partner's mind? Was there a gap in how people were using garbage disposals? Lay it on us.
Yeah. So this one's actually a little funny. So we're both in the Bay Area. My co-founder and I are both environmentally conscious. He started two climate focused startups in the past. But he's had like a conspiracy theory in his mind for a long time that like composting is not very good. He did a ton of research into this. Turns out he is wrong. Composting is really good. Everyone knows composting is good. It's why we do it.
I like that he researched it.
Yeah, he's big into deep diving stuff like that. So the follow up to that was, well, composting is kind of a pain in the neck for most people, right? You put all this trash in your kitchen and it sits there and it stinks and nobody likes that. But there's already a solution in everyone's home, well, in 60% of Americans' homes for great futuristic, essentially, garbage disposal waste. I know people think about garbage disposals as like, man, they were invented super long ago. They're super unpleasant to use, blah, blah, blah. But like, if you were going to invent a futuristic way to take food out of your home, it'd be using a magical series of pipes that carries food away.
Right.
And so he's like, great, I should use a garbage disposal. Like, we did research. It's quite good for the environment generally, maybe not quite as good as composting, but with only 4% of food waste getting composted, there's huge room in the market for actually disposing of food waste where you don't send it to a landfill, because landfilling food waste is super bad. So we then went in and we're like, okay, we use garbage disposals. I have one in the past. He has one. What like don't we like about it? And then the answer to that was sort of, well, everything, right?
Yeah.
They're super loud. People are scared of them because they've seen Final Destination too many times. People are always worried about clogs. There's this whole list of issues that we went in and we were like, okay, can we fix these? Because our impression of garbage disposal, I think, is the same as everybody else's, right? It was invented 100 years ago and it's just a very nice piece of technology.
Thank you.
And and while they grind up food really well, like I'm not trying to change the grind mechanism. That does a great job. Every other aspect of it can be improved. And so that's what we set out to do. We're like, I think we can build a good one. My co-founder mocked up one. And we're like, hey, I think we have something here. I think people be interested in this. And so we've gone and built a good garbage disposal. In our opinion, the first good garbage disposal.
So I have a question for you. With my garbage disposal, I can't put eggshells down it. I can't put potato peelings. I can't do you know, how,
Yeah.
how do you guys, how did you figure out how to fix something like that?
Well, it turns out that most of the stuff you quote unquote can't put down a garbage disposal, you can. I mean, people tell you a whole bunch of stuff. There's a ton of misinformation. Basically, if you have a powerful enough garbage disposal, like 3/4 horsepower, 1 horsepower, as opposed to one of the cheapo $70 ones, you can put basically anything you want down there. Should you? I mean, you don't need to put entire rib bones down there, but if you wanted to, you could, and your pipes aren't going to care, and the garbage disposal shouldn't care if it's well made. So, like, that's something that you can absolutely do. We're trying to encourage people to put down all their food waste. Because, like, historically, I was told, hey, you can use this for little scraps in there, but, like, don't, like, landfill the rest of your food. But, like, with the proper protections, such as strong enough garbage disposal, ours is 1 horsepower, and we've added enzymes that help unclog your pipes actively. So, like, you shouldn't have any worries about actually using your disposal for all your food waste, right? You should be landfilling very little.
So how do the enzymes work? Is that part of when you turn the garbage disposal on, or do you pull? Yeah.
Ours are injected automatically. We have a little bottle on the side. It's not every use. It's twice a day, I think is what we're currently using. So basically twice a day, your garbage disposal goes, great, time to inject enzymes. They get pushed in there. They help break down food that's already in the disposal. So it smells better and it's cleaner. And then they go down your pipes. And then there are a bunch of enzymes that actually break down the different components of food waste, break down fats, carbohydrates, all that stuff. So like the proof of concept for this is you have a dishwasher. Most people have a dishwasher. Dishwashers see a ton of food waste and they actually have a tiny outlet valve. Like most people don't think
Yes.
about that, but you never very rarely you're like, man, my dishwasher has been clogged by all this food waste. And the reason is dishwasher detergent is essentially a bunch of enzymes that break down food waste. So if you're putting food waste in something, we're like, well, we can just put enzymes down there. And that should help with clogs, it'll help with smell, it'll help with cleanliness, all in one go.
I think that's fascinating. I never thought of that. So, how long have you guys been in business, and how are you sharing this new type of garbage composer? Is the name of it. How are you getting it out to the masses? Are you doing the masses? Are you going to restaurants, or like what is your core
So
way?
we incorporated August of last year.
Okay.
After doing some preliminary work and building a mock-up and stuff, we were like, okay, I think we have enough to do a business. So we incorporated August of last year, and then ever since have been working to just like build production ready units. We're not quite ready yet, but we are currently taking pre-orders on our website, composer.me.
Okay.
You get a discount if you pre-order one. They'll be shipping later this year. We're starting just D2C. Eventually, obviously, we'll be in the Amazon and then eventually Home Depot, Lowe's. We'll be everywhere you can currently buy a garbage disposal. But from the beginning, we're available D2C for anyone who wants to pre-order one.
It's so interesting. I'm so tempted to introduce you to. I have a client. He is a remodeler, and he remodels thousands of homes. And I took his YouTube channel. In 1 year, he had 660 subscribers to now to in less than a year, a week less than a year, we hit the 100,000 mark. And now he's like that was in February of this year. Now we're in May. He's got 160,000 subscribers, but I think it would be really because he's always looking for cool different things to put in homes. I'm like, his name is Mike Hewitt. I should introduce you guys because that could be something that could be a nice little, um, introduction there. He's
Yeah,
really great.
that'd be lovely. Like,
Yeah,
I think one of those things for us is that obviously, eventually, we'll be able to build cheaper models. Our current one is at the top end of the garbage disposal range, but we think there's a lot of space there that's interesting because you can spend $10,000, $15,000 on a fridge, you can spend $7,000 on a stove. But right now, basically, all you've had to do in the market is you can buy a $70 garbage disposal or a $300 one, and the $300 one is just not meaningfully different. It's more powerful, which is good. It helps break down food more efficiently, but it offers no benefits of any kind. So, like, we think the home remodel market is going to be really good for us, the high end DIY. And then if
yep.
you're building like high end new construction, especially in places where you have to have a garbage disposal now, like Philadelphia, if you're building like a high rise, like, do you want an enormous trash room or would you rather everyone just flush their food down their pipes and then it goes away forever?
Well, for sure, I think all of those are good markets, and when you're ready, I'll introduce you to someone else that does very high end, we're talking multi 20,000,000, $35,000,000 homes. It might be a good connection for you.
Absolutely.
I think it would be really neat. So, Tim, as it relates to like, so you're from the Bay Area, and I know having lived in California before in the San Diego area, it's much more strict in the way that, recycling and all the different things versus, I live in Nevada and now it's not the thing.
No, it's not.
Right. So do you feel like, once this gets more, larger scale, that this can help, states or cities save money on their trash, I don't know what they call it, the disposal, all of that. Like, is
Waste disposal. Yeah.
yeah, waste disposal.
Yeah, absolutely. Because actually, most cities, almost all wastewater treatment plants in the US, and increasingly this is happening, they're installing anaerobic digesters at the wastewater treatment plant. So basically, they take all that food waste that goes in your pipes and all waste, actually. But in our case, we care about the food waste. And they put it in this big tank, and that tank breaks it down, and then it releases methane, which is what would happen in a landfill normally, which is
Right.
bad. It's terrible for the environment. But if you capture it, and these wastewater treatment plants do, you can do one of two things with it. You can either burn it again to power the wastewater treatment plant, so it actually decreases the cost of running the plant, or you can turn it into renewable natural gas. It's what New York does at their plant in Brooklyn now, where they actually pipe that back into people's homes to heat them. So, like, not only do we help on the waste side, right? Like, fewer trash pickups is good for everybody. Even composting pickup, like, takes effort, and even when people aren't really doing it, because, like, they're not. And so, like, this is just a very efficient way using infrastructure that's already in place that, like, cities actually, beyond just the cost of actually picking up the trash, can also help them run their wastewater treatment plants efficiently and help everyone all down the line.
I love that. I think that that is it's not only good for the environment, but I think it's could be a good opportunity to get in front of some of these cities and and states that are really big into this, and also an opportunity to go to other states or cities that are not as waste conscious, if that's the best way to put it. I'm not sure. Is there a term for that that you guys use, Tim?
No, we don't have one. I think anything we'd have would end up feeling a little pejorative, and we don't wanna
Y-
do that. But, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a really good solution, especially for places that aren't waste conscious because you're using infrastructure that's already in place, and, like, nobody likes landfilling stuff. It's huge, takes up a ton of space, it's super expensive, and then you have to keep building new landfills, which no one wants to be next to, so you're either hauling the garbage really far or having it real close. I used to live next to one in upstate New York, and it just like the surrounding like 10 miles that the wind's blowing the right direction just smells so bad. And so we're trying to get rid of that.
Well, I love your vision. I think it's wonderful. So, Tim, to pre-order one of these did you say composers,
It's
right?
it is we our company is Composer, and the product is technically called Composer One, but we refer to them as a Composer as well.
Okay, so with the Composer one though, to pre-order, what is the price point, and would they just go to the Composer website?
Yeah, you can visit us at composer.me. We're selling just off our website D2C for now. Current price point is $5.99, but if you pre-order, we knock that down to $4.99, and we
Okay.
include a free 6 months of the enzymes.
Well, I love that. I think it's wonderful. So, Tim, what we'll have to do is have you back on Savage Angel in 6 months to a year to see where you're at with your business and how we can support you. I love this. I think this is incredible. I'm all about, being environmentally conscious. I think I grew up on a dairy farm, right? So there was, it was just something we talked about a lot. Like I grew up in the Seattle area. So you know, just natural, do things naturally, not all like even growing up, I remember drinking milk like straight from, the tank. Like there was not all the extra chemicals and the pasteurization. Like, so I was raised like that. So I love when we do there's new tech that comes out and it really helps take people back to the basics with the good, wholesome earth and people that are like minded. So I love that. I'm very excited that you are on here, Tim. So, any last words before we sign off?
Oh, I think so. Just all I'm encouraging you to do is use your garbage disposal generally and use ours also because I think you'll have a better time using it and you'll want to use it. So
Well, that's very exciting. So, for those of you who are listening, whether it's on Spotify, Apple, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you find us, I would encourage you to read in the description. We'll have all of Tim's information, not only his website, but any of his social channels, his email, all of that. So you can reach out to him if you're interested in purchasing one of the Composer ones. All right. Now, thank you so much, Tim, for showing up today and for our listeners to learn something new, something that I learned that I had no idea was out there. And we're going to see you in the next episode. Bye for now.
thank you so much.
You're welcome.